My name is Sherwin Cashie. I started off at the NIHERST program in my early 20s. I was a former IT manager for Hilton Worldwide, and now I'm the ICT manager for AP Scott Trinidad Limited, a distribution company that distributes throughout Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean. So what would have happened was there was the Astronomy Night that was advertised on newspaper as well as television, and that immediately intrigued me because it was on a Friday night, and at that time I didn't have much to do. So I took the journey up to the NIHERST Center, and from there I met some very, very powerful and inspiring and motivational people that introduced me to astronomy and science, the whole STEM program. So they basically mentored me in everything that STEM has to offer, and from there that was the pinnacle as to where now I was able to choose my career. So through NIHERST, in attending the STEM programs, it sparked and inspired me in the field of technology and of course using STEM. I was able to get that hands-on approach in using the sciences and technologies that was available at NIHERST, and meeting some great and inspiring and powerful minds, the leaders in innovation, people such as Sherwin, Krisha Ramkisoon, Isa Mohammed, Sharon Bello Hope, just to name a few of some of the people that really inspired me in moving forward in my career. So after I did the program at NIHERST, the STEM program, it gave me the necessary tools, the critical and analytical tools, and the education now to be ahead of the game, to be very competitive in today's, as you know, very competitive market. Using some of the knowledge and skills that I've acquired at NIHERST, I can now apply those skills in today's job market. And as you know, technology is always evolving. So again, through the STEM program, it taught us that you always have to keep doing research, always be knowledgeable in what you do, always be ahead of what's going to be next out there. And by doing that, it has allowed me to propel in my job market, and allowed me to start off at the basic level in the field of technology and now reach at the pinnacle of my career. One of the key parts of being in the STEM universe is you have to be a driver for innovation. In today's world, in today's society, you're seeing innovation being the front force of everything that's happening in today's world and in today's society, and even right here in our country. The fact that NIHERST is having these type of programs, and of course being interviewed for such a prestigious event that's happening, you have to be innovative. So for my colleagues out there, innovation is key, because in doing so allows you to have an impact both not only for yourself, but for those around you, for society, and in general, and by extension, the world. Oh yes, I can definitely attest to that. For me, being in the field of IT and of course having the knowledge through STEM, it has allowed me to analyze very difficult tasks, very difficult challenges that are sometimes faced in the field of IT. As you know, IT is always, every day is something new. Every day is not the same. And through the use of STEM, every time a new challenge arises, it allows me to really step back and analyze exactly what the problem is and take a very structured approach as to how we solve that problem. Of course, me being an innovator in everything that I do, the management team, my directors, my superiors, they saw that I'm much different than the other employees, and in doing so they took a very keen interest in me. They helped develop me, and I've been allowed to be promoted at a much rapid pace, and in a short space of time I became the IT manager for Hilton Worldwide, and now I'm the IT manager for a distribution company that distributes products and services throughout the Trinidad, Tobago and the Caribbean. for me doing geography in school, I initially learned about the solar system, and I was very intrigued by it at that age. And then afterwards, I saw that NIHERST had an astronomy night. So my colleague and I, we took a trip to NIHERST, and again, the people that were there were very helpful, and they were very motivating, and they inspired us. And just going into that observatory and seeing the movement of the constellations, and then taking a step outside and being able to use a telescope and look at the moon and some of the planets that were visible, that are out at that night, and those several nights on a Friday, it really sparked a huge interest for me in STEM. It also took me to the career of the field of IT, and of course from now I am also now an astronomer and an astrophotographer, in where I develop many different images of deep space objects and some of the different planets within our solar system. I wouldn't really say that I've reached the pinnacle, because of course with STEM it's always evolving. There's always innovation happening. We're always seeing new systems being coming out there. We have robotics, we have AI technology, we have cybersecurity. These are things that are always impacting us as individuals, from a social aspect, and from the corporate entities. We're always being affected by these evolving changes. So my impact, both for my professionals of my level as well as the up and coming, I now intend to be a mentor. So even I myself have evolved in the field of STEM. So whereby the great minds that have inspired me, I know my aim is to inspire others so they too can be taken along that journey through STEM. And again, even the terminology STEM itself is evolving. Now we have, some people call it STEAM, where it's science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. There's also STREAM, where research has also been included. One of the things that I also enjoy as a hobby is astronomy. Again, that was done through NIHERST, and I thank them immensely for them bringing that into my life. Now I have my own YouTube channel, Astro Island, in which I educate others, I inspire others, again, through the use of STEM, to learn about astronomy, to learn about astrophotography, and in doing so will make a change in my country and my world. Initially, I would have said within 5 to 10 years, but now it's even much closer. I would say within 3 to 5 years. And that's just given the fact that COVID-19 put a wrecking ball through the world, in the sense that a lot of corporate entities, usually before, they would have taken, like you mentioned, a more like a 5 to 10 year approach where they'd have done some level of innovation. But now, with COVID-19 and there's a rise of artificial intelligence, robotics, cybersecurity, a lot of companies are now heavily investing in some of these technologies. Cloud solutions as an example. Companies are now beginning to realize that they actually make much more money. It's much more sound, they get much more sound investment through outsourcing some of these technologies versus having a lot of these technologies on premise. So we're seeing a lot of companies placing a lot of their emphasis now, investing in some of these technologies that I mentioned. And in doing so, they're beginning to see the benefits. I myself being in the field of technology, and I'm part of that discussion that's taking place in my company and some of the other companies, you're seeing where the results of moving towards, so say for example, on-premise or using outdated security solutions, and they're now investing in some of the latest and greatest and most beneficial tools of technology for their companies. They're beginning to see the results. And in doing so, in less than 3 to 5 years, they're already seeing the projections for the benefits of these investments. Oh yes. It really warms my heart to see that I am now in my early 40s and now seeing even the evolution of NIHERST themselves, taking the time to invest and do a lot of research in some of the latest technologies that are out there and applying it to the younger generation. I've seen many the Astronomy Nights that are taking place, I'm seeing many of the camps that are taking place for the younger generation, and you see that on what I do on television or on social media. And sometimes when I pay a visit to NIHERST, I see these young minds. They're bright and they're inspired by the people like myself who have been through that very same program, and as I mentioned earlier, are now inspiring others to be part of that STEM program, so they themselves can develop and contribute towards society and, of course, a greater world. To my fellow professionals and future investors, STEM plays a critical role in one's development, both of an individual, of a company, of a country, and by extension, a world. STEM is the future, and I strongly advise that everyone understand and be part of STEM. To my younger generation, I hope that you are inspired by what STEM has to offer. Parents, I strongly advise that get your kids involved in STEM. STEM is exciting. STEM is fun. Be part of many of the programs that STEM has to offer. And in doing so, you will also see a change in yourself and be part of something greater than yourself.